Hello, how's it going, you guys? It is Virgil, and I'm actually here with something that I actually just decided that Spirit kind of put on me to kind of do talk tea with V. I'm kind of going to go through just like daily things, that you may encounter, daily things that you might even feel inside of your mind or whatever, and just kind of like a little bit of insight of me, where I come from and kind of what I see, because it seems as though like a lot of people are forgetting where they come from. Please don't mind this. This is just my little candle thing. I'm trying to light my sage and it won't seem to light. Um, but yeah, how is everybody doing with this whole COVID-19 thing going on? It's actually being the fact that it's going on is kind of making a lot of people kind of stay a little bit inside, and you're not really getting to be out inside of the world doing what people might be doing, because I can really go for a mimosa right now, but I know for a fact that I can't have one until they open up the bars back and or the restaurants. But as I was saying, like I literally just wanted to kind of come to you guys. I'm not gonna take too much time, but just kind of go over like a couple things. It's Sunday. We really can't even go to church anymore, so you just kind of like have to do things online. So I guess it's the new way that how everything is being done. Um, but what I was really drawn to was the fact that, of finding what your purpose is in life, and I think that basically with what's going on now is basically everyone finding their purpose. And even as I speak for myself, like I have in 2019 and going into 2020, my life has been a complete whirlwind, and I have like always tried to remain positive no matter exactly what was going on. So, what I've realized is that a lot of people have become what I would call it is naysayers, where one person will try to do something to lift themselves up, and you have another person to bring them down. Um, and I think as people, we kind of need to get out of that mindset in general, because why bring somebody down for what they're trying to do to uplift their spirits, or for them trying to find out who they are or their purpose in life? We all get misguided, we all get sidetracked sometimes. So for that, I just kind of really feel like us as a people, we really need to kind of be accountable for our own actions and how we make people feel. You know, as I said before, it's like I've really said and I've kind of thought about some of the people that I've actually had in my life myself, um, where it wasn't really like the receptive type of energy that I would personally give out to somebody, and it would be the energy that they'll give back, to where it seems almost more like it's kind of degrading versus more so like, oh yeah, let me uplift you. Let me tell you that you are worth something. Let me tell you that you can actually rise above and be whatever it is that you want to be. I know that was something as a kid that was very cliche that you would say, your teacher tell you you can be whatever you want to be, but it's true, like you can, you just have to kind of really put your mind towards whatever it is that you really, really want to do, and not be limited, and not allow the next person who really doesn't have anything going on in their own life, to come to you to kind of tell you, hey, I see this person's trying to do this, but the fact that they're trying to do it, let me downplay exactly what they're doing to make themselves feel better. Don't do that to people, because the only thing that's going to do is make you look more so, A, better, B, like you don't have anything going for yourself, and C, just kind of like you're petty, and petty is not a word that I use, especially coming from like a spiritual realm. It's just kind of like, be what you want other people to be to you. You know, I said racks. Acts of kindness, really go really a long way, instead of like trying to sit and be malicious and to downplay and or to make someone feel bad about what they're trying to do and to uplift. Why don't you uplift yourself as well too? And in the meantime, while you're uplifting yourself, figure out why your life is the way that it is versus trying to dictate how everybody else's life has to be. You know, and that's just something that in general, like I think we as a people have really kind of start doing just unconsciously. You know, I know I can even say for me personally, like I'm so attuned to like what's going on around me to where it's harder for me to kind of focus more on myself. So to be in this period of isolation and to be in this period of where I can look at myself, figure out where my flaws are, what it is that I personally need to do, you know, it kind of helps me, to really block out, everything that goes on around me, and when you start doing that, you really see like the people that are actually in your corner versus the ones that are there, just to kind of actually see you fail, and it is so ironic, that I have gone through, like I said, for me, have gone through so many things, in the span of a year and years. And the people that I personally thought that I actually had in my corner, either A, disappeared, B, just went on their own little merry way, never fell back to kind of like check in with you or whatever, and it's just like it's ironic to me, and I never really want to say that I'm like always 100% right in everything that I do, but I know for a fact one thing that will always change me is that my heart is pure and that I will never, ever, ever do anything maliciously to anybody, and I kind of realize that sometimes people don't really have that type of heart. Some people actually live their life, being malicious. They live their life, making other people misery or miserable. As they said, misery loves company. And sometimes you have to be able to release yourself from those miserable people. Because what happens is when they're bringing their baggage to you and they're bringing more baggage to you, but really not even, it's like, I want to say like the half cup, half full type of thing, where you're talking to them and they're really only half listening because 9 times out of 10 they really don't care. So for me, like to take this time and to sit back and like pay attention to what everybody's doing, and then kind of turn it onto myself to kind of see what it is that I personally need as an individual to kind of rise above and to grasp, you know, you'll be surprised on what you can figure out when you're in solitude, and I kind of understand now when people go to jail, and they come out and they say, hey, I had an epiphany while sitting there, sitting in the house for a week because again, like I like being around people. So to sit in solitude and to kind of sit and be in your own thoughts, it makes you start looking at things from a completely different like perspective. And I can kind of say some of the things that I kind of looked at, the way that I used to look at certain things, and again, I'm still a work in progress. It's like a night and day type of thing. Because not everybody's meant to be there in your mental. Not everybody's there meant to uh, be like your cheerleader, or be the person that you're supposed to hang out with like on a regular basis or a daily basis. You know, what people need to do, and I honestly feel like just coming from my perspective, and people can correct me if they're wrong and or if they don't agree with it, focus on yourself and be a better person, instead of like trying to tear your next person down because of them making strides or trying to be better than where they were before. You know, things tend to kind of happen for a reason, and the fact that we are all stuck in our houses right now and we are all like not able to kind of go around, spend money, do go out, drink, party, all this other stuff. I think people are failing to realize what in this time that we're sitting here, it's like we are bringing our families together because everything was becoming completely disconnected. we are now sitting trying to figure out, the world is trying to fix itself. You know, again, some people are like, oh, it's man made, it's this. Things are happening for a reason. And what I really think is that people kind of need to, A, figure out why it's happening, and what's going on in their life. Use this time to kind of focus more on yourself, on what it is that you need, your nourishment, your next goal, your next project, like your next job. Are you happy where you are? Do you need a new apartment? Do you need a new city? Like, sit here and kind of grasp and think about what it is that you need to do in order for you to be as happy, fruitful, as you want to be. And I'm pretty sure everything else will follow, So, as I said, I'm not going to hold like for too long, and I think I've actually gone over 10 minutes and I wasn't trying to do that. But again, as I said, this would be something that I kind of do. Depending on how I start feeling, I think I'm gonna kind of do it on like a daily, like a not a daily basis, but maybe a weekly basis, just to kind of chime in, and figure out like what. And I kind of want to use this as more of a discussion, like what do some of you guys think? Like, why do you think that things are happening the way in which that is happening in the world? What do you think that you can do better to kind of make things change? Inbox me, or even like if you have my number, text me, like, because sometimes like I literally want to talk, and I kind of want to vibe and figure out like what it is that people do in order to like pass time, and or how you feeling, so but that's basically it, so